Okay.
So now, I think now
Yes.
you should see the screen.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great.
Go ahead.
So thank you, Mike. My name is Martin Karlovic. I'm the managing director of a Germany-based software company called Netronic. We as a company are focused, so we are a Microsoft partner in terms of having the application development silver competency. So we are not selling or reselling the Dynamics NAV system, but we are building software tools that work as a fully integrated add-in to the system, and then we work globally with partners like Vox in this case, and with Mike in this case, to actually present and market and sell these add-ins that we develop to end customers like you are. So what the focus of our company is to develop software to visually and interactively deal with time-related planning data. So our expertise is in building software to make interactive Gantt charts. So what we have done, and we released this slightly more than a year ago, we have built a product that we call the Visual Production Scheduler. The Visual Production Scheduler helps you guys to kind of get a combined and aggregated view on all the details that Mike just ran through. So to see the routings, the work machines and the capacity, and also the shift calendars, the operations, what you've seen as task lists, to see this on one screen, and so to get a focus on the not on the single orders but more on the entire schedule, immediately see conflicts and have the capability to manage them accordingly. So the product is fully integrated into the business system. So, and as this tool that we're talking about today should support your manufacturing planning and scheduling processes, you find it in the manufacturing menu and module of the system, and as it should support planning, you find it here in the planning if it is installed in your system, and it's called Visual Production Scheduler. It runs in the Windows client, but you can also run this, for example, on the web or on the web client if you have big screens at your shop floor where you want to show just the schedule to people. And so when you start the product, what happens when you see this, we stay in the system, and a standard NAV page now has opened. You still have what you know from the system as a road center on the left. You have some specific icons and menus at the top, and now we look actually at one page that combines information of many of the tables that you have seen in the last 15 minutes presented by Mike. And what you do now is you look at your production orders. They are sorted by their status. So if they are planned, if they are firm planned and release, and then you look at them by production order number. We can quickly change the resolution of the screen so that you can overlook a long period. So now I'm looking from the work date a week back and 4 weeks in the future. Or if you have a shorter planning horizon, then you can quickly drill down, look at whatever 2 hours intervals, 1 hour interval, 15 minutes interval, and go down until 5 minutes interval, so that you can do very granular rescheduling and tracking of data. So let's get to a bigger picture again. So from the graphical representation, and maybe we want to check a look at one production order. So now this is one production order. This is the production order number, and as it has been defined here by the routings you saw a couple of minutes ago by Mike, this production order now actually is built in 5 steps. It starts in the assembly department, then goes to Brian Walden, then assembly department again, Mike Siemens, and in the end it goes to the packing table. So when selecting the production order, you see the link, and when double-clicking the production order as via an NAV, the production order card opens so that you can continue also to work within the environment that you're used to work with. You can look at the functions here. You can look at the production order routing. That gives you the same picture in a spreadsheet style that you see here in the graphical representation. From the user interface, or from the meaning of the colors, what you see here in the background, and maybe you look at the second one, then we see the difference. Yeah, what you see here in the background, these gray areas, they indicate the work free time as defined in your work center and your machine center calendars, like Mike showed you a couple of minutes ago. So the gray area in the background is work free time. The white area is non-working time. And as you see, if you have different work and different machine centers running in different shifts, then we can visualize this information accordingly. The color semantics on the bars is vice versa. So if the bar is colored, then this means there is the working time. If it's white, this is the non-working time. And then we have the three colors of the bar, the light blue, the dark blue, and the orange one, which represent the different statuses of the production orders, with the light blue being the planned, the dark blue the firm plan, and the orange one the released ones. So what you now can do is you can of course, as this is an interactive tool, you can move the data. So if you want to change the start date of this operation, you just grab it and move it to the left. And then you see also, and I've set it up in this way, that all the successors of this operation automatically are rescheduled. And now what you see here is this red bar, this red border. And this red border indicates that now I, as the scheduler, have changed this production order and this operation and not yet saved the data back to NAV. So when I started the tool, we read all the information that we need to build this Gantt chart. We read all this information. We keep the information in memory. We allow you to make changes to the schedule, also to make kind of simulations, what-if scenarios. And then when you think that the changes that you've made represent the best possible schedule, then you can hit the Save button. You need to confirm it. And then we're doing some plausibility checks in the background, and then you get the information that the schedule has been changed successfully, and now the NAV database has been updated accordingly. So now we change the start and the end dates for these operations. And now the red border vanished again, because now what you see here actually represents again the data from the database. So maybe we look at some further information that we see here on the chart, and you may already notice this, that we have the operations here in the Gantt chart with the bars, and then now this operation is on the assembly department. So if you can quickly check this, we see the respective work center card as an NAV, and we see here that we have set this up in a way, like Mike had it with the CNC machines, that we have an overall capacity of 3 here. And this is reflected also down at the bottom here. So because I selected this operation, I see this capacity load chart at the bottom of the screen. And this capacity load chart gives me information to which degree the specific capacities of the work and the machine centers that I'm looking at, to which degree they are used. So, of course, in the non-work times, there is 0 capacity, and in the work-free time, the maximum available capacity is 3, like you just saw from the work center card. So the outer line always represents the maximum available capacity, whereas these gray areas indicate the workload that had been assigned to the specific work or machine center at the given point of time. So it is to be read here, I have a capacity of 3, and at this particular day, at the 24th of January, I have 1 operation in the morning, 2 during lunchtime, and again 1 in the afternoon. So there is a lot of free capacity actually in this work or machine center. And when I move now this operation here, you see how the histogram, like we call it, so the capacity load chart at the bottom of the screen automatically update and gives you an indication how the potential change that you make to the schedule by dragging and dropping the operation, how this would impact your capacity. So now, when I actually want to schedule the entire production order, you see that there were these 5 production steps, these 5 operations, and if I go to the next one, to the drilling machine, then I again see the drilling machine's histogram at the bottom of the screen. So the histogram automatically reflects the operation that I'm working on and updates, so that I always see the information that is relevant to me in the minute or in the second that I make these drag and drop changes. Then I'm moving to the CNC machine. I actually recognize that there is some red color, and so this indicates now that by the changes I made, I created a capacity conflict here. So now currently, my current schedule is as such that there are 2 operations scheduled to the CNC machine at the same time, whereas the CNC machine only has a capacity of 1, so only can handle 1 production order at the same point of time. So now from here, as this data looks at the information from a production order-centric view, it is hard to see which other production order creates the conflict. So I can switch the view and look at the same data, but from a different perspective. So now I'm looking at the exact same production schedule, but I'm looking at it from a work and machine center perspective. And so I now see my work centers, I see my machine centers, I know that the conflict was on the 24th of January, I know it was on the CNC machine, so I can drill down, look at the CNC machine, and see that there are these 2 production orders that actually create the conflict. And from getting used to the product a little bit, I also know and I still remember what the colors of the production orders tell me. So the orange one is the released one, the light blue one is the planned one. So I typically don't want to change a released one, but I want to change a planned one. And so then I have to look for next available free capacity at the CNC machine, which might be at the afternoon of the next day, which is the Monday, because we have the weekend here, which is set up as a work-free period. So then I can drag and drop it to here, and I see that the capacity levels out nicely here. I can move it, and then the successors are automatically moved so that they can start when this operation is finished, as it has been defined in the routings. So with this dragging and dropping, I can level out capacities and manage capacity load by changing start and end date of operations. But what I can also do is, if I have, just look for an example in these data, if I have a situation like here, where I have assigned 2 operations to Brian, and I have free capacity at both Mike and Linda, and if Linda is also capable of doing the same job like Brian, then I can also reallocate an operation from Brian to Linda and move it from Brian to her, so that we resolve the capacity constraints we had at Brian here, and take also care for better capacity utilization of Linda Mitchell, who had nothing to do during the same period of time. Also, what you saw is one of the scenarios that Mike had is that when he said that you can also set up the system in a way that the NAV MRP just allocates all the operations and the routings to the work centers, and then you have the shop foreman decide who is going to take care for the job. So you can create a schedule where, for example, all operations would just rest on the assembly department line, on the packing department line, on the painting department line when you start this visual scheduler, and then somebody could go in here and say, okay, this job which had been scheduled to the assembly department now has to be done by somebody, and the shop foreman decides, okay,